What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year! What's going on? This is T Reaper, and I'm back with another video. Okay, well, I was actually planning to have this already pre-recorded, but then my Adobe messed up and I had to do this all over again. I'm also going to address something that has been popping up in my comment section in the last 24 hours, but I'll wait later in the video to do that. So, most recently, the World Health Organization, or WHO, of 2018 has classified gaming as a disorder, and is included in the disease section. But just because you play video games does not necessarily mean you have this disorder. Gaming has to take up a decent, has to take the forefront of the, more important, responsibilities in life, such as personal, family, social, education, occupational, or other aspects of your life. So, for example, if I choose gaming over something as important as family, if I even had a kid, or even if I had a wife, or if I choose gaming over my personal bills, then that would basically go around the aspect and basically classify me to have my gaming as a disorder. And some people I know have already, touched on this. Shout out to O Snaps, she did a nice video on this. But it's kind of funny because, if I choose my gaming pre-orders over my, wonderful Stop and Shop, food order, that would technically classify me as, an actual, person with a gaming disorder, which I think is kind of amusing and funny as all hell. The other concept is, people are going to use this to the advantage, be like, oh, I play video games, I have this disorder. No, gaming has to be more important to you than anything, and it has to take up a majority aspect of your life over other things that are important in life, such as, as I stated before, work, family, responsibilities, so on and so forth. But again, I think this is kind of funny. I think this is just another aspect of the world we live in, and hey, at least only the true die-hard fans of gaming can be diagnosed with this, because when most of the people we know on this planet or in this wonderful YouTube thing kind of can't really be diagnosed with this, because it's they don't take gaming that honestly that seriously. But again, that's just me speaking out loud. Speaking of which, so again, Happy New Year, and everybody, from my personal friends to people I've never talked to on my channel have now been hounding me over that corporate slave awards that I announced during New Year's. And everybody's been saying the concept that you and your friends are anti-consumer. And, everybody's arguing because, we fight this fictional console war that we're anti-consumer. But I kind of would argue technically kind of differently, because, as it goes with this gaming disorder, the people on that list, I don't understand how we're actually anti-consumer, because just being a fanboy, and I repeat, just being a fanboy does not mean we're anti-consumer. Anti-consumerism is mainly reserved for, the, industry and the actual companies that, we buy shit from. It doesn't really apply to the actual the consumer base being anti-consumer. Anti-consumer is more for companies and industries and stuff like that. So, I find it kind of funny that, you want to nominate us for, this wonderful, fictional, this wonderful, made up award, but technically we don't actually fit any of that anti-consumer, because everybody on that list pays more money than the average consumer does on a yearly basis. You know how many people I meet that legitly can barely afford a controller, who can barely afford a headset, who can actually barely afford gold itself? I find that actually very amusing. And the other point I made is, how am I actually anti-consumer? Because I probably spend more time with my box than anybody on that fucking list, and you guys want to call me anti-consumer. And I find that kind of amusing, because I've bought 7 Xbox Ones. I've bought, I buy at least, 10 to 15 games a year. I probably have a decent $6,000 debt, on my, GameStop pre-order, account. And, I find it kind of amusing, because I pay I don't pay more than, certain people that I know, but I do pay a decent amount, and we all do. We all give back to, Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo, whatever floats your boat. But I think it's kind of funny that you want to call us anti-consumer still. But, and you want to call us anti-consumer because we're fanboys. Now, I just want to repeat, being a fanboy does not mean you're anti-consumer. In fact, we can all be fanboys of the certain things we love, and still, it has nothing whatsoever to do with being anti-consumer. If anything, we're actually pro-consumer because we're rooting for these wonderful companies to outdo each other, and not so much basically hurting them from doing so. Because we're still buying their product, we're still giving them money, money cap, and especially for us adult gamers and us adult YouTubers who legitimately spend our own money on this fucking shit, and not, the wonderful minor YouTubers of, today who have to have their mommy and daddy basically spend all their money, to buy games for them, which I think is kind of amusing in and of itself. But again, I digress. So, the people on this list, I can guarantee you pay Microsoft and Sony their own flow of cash. They're still making money off of these people. We're still giving them money. And if anything, I think that's actually pro-consumer. But again, that's just what I think. Again, gaming is now classified as a disorder. Please stop calling us anti-consumer if we give the bulk of our time to this industry. I think that's pro-consumer, not anti-consumer. But this is T Reaper. I hope you guys all enjoyed my little, New Year's speech. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.